Hi there, I'm Tracy Pierce. Thanks for joining me here today for this free mini animal communication series. This was really born out of the lockdown that's happening here in the US around the coronavirus pandemic. I was house sitting at the time when all those lockdowns started to happen and doing traveling from my house to their house. And I really started to wonder, wow, what do the animals think about this? Watching the humans around them completely change their patterns. And I kept tuning into some of my animal friends, and they're like, Tracy, do this free series, do it, do live streaming. I've got my little doggy friend here in the background joining me. And sometimes she makes little weird noises. I don't know if you just heard that, but she's one of the dogs we talked to recently this week. But anyway, so these free sessions have just really been a fun way for the animals to express themselves and share their wisdom with the world in a greater way. So today we're going to be talking with a kitty friend named Miss Pearl. Here's Miss Pearl. And let's see, let me pull up my chat box because I know that Miss Pearl's human has some questions for her. All right, so I've never talked to Miss Pearl before. Miss Pearl did pass away back in 2012, so she's definitely not in this physical body anymore. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get quiet and start tuning into her. Yeah, when I first start to tune into her, I get this kind of dual thing going on. Like I feel a lot of softness and kind of feminine energy in her, but I also feel a little bit of like cranky old lady energy in her a bit. Hi, Miss Pearl. I wonder what you would like to share about you or the world or really anything that you want to share with us. We're open to your wisdom, Miss Pearl. She's bringing my awareness to her eyes, and she's showing, it almost looks like laser vision, like lasers coming out of her eyes, this real piercing quality about it. Yeah, she's saying that's part of, that was part of her work with her human during the life. Can you say more about that? I'm not sure I totally understand, Pearl. It's almost like she's highlighting things in her human's energy by pointing her eyes, her laser eyes at them. Like I could see her issues, her problems, is what Pearl's saying. And I had a way of highlighting that with my eyes. And it's more than my physical vision. She says it's like spiritual vision, if you want to call it that. She really felt like her human treated her like a queen. Like she's kind of pointing to this water glass that she's sitting next to. And like there were always beautiful things for me to drink and eat out of. And like she would get me pretty collars. And there was this sense of being like a queen with her. Yeah, and this sense also of her wanting to bring out her human's inner queen. Like part of her work with her was about getting her to see this queenly, divine, feminine part of herself. Yeah, and Miss Pearl is saying like that wasn't always about being nice or being soft or passive. Like then she kind of brings her cranky old lady face up again, and she's like, sometimes you gotta swat at them and tell them what's what. Yeah, I get that, Pearl. So I wonder if there's anything, I know that your human has several questions for you. I wonder if there's anything else that you want to share with us before we get into the questions. No, I'm good with questions, she says. Okay, let me pull these up here. Your human says, I really feel like I let Pearl down, especially in the end, because I didn't know what to do. What does she want me to know about our time together? She says, no, you didn't let me down. There were a lot of things in your own life that needed to be taken care of, and she understands why your attention was diverted a bit, she's saying, from her. There's some sense of, there was something that she was waiting for, like an energetic indication from you, Kim, that indicated like that it was time for Pearl to go. Can you say more about that, Pearl? She really wants you to understand that you didn't let her down. That's what she's saying. No, it was my time to go, and she feels that everything happened as it should have. So I don't know how Pearl actually died, but she's showing me this kind of, not really fast, but kind of degeneration there at the end that she said it was kind of coming up to that. There was, Pearl, can you show me that again, please? Yeah, there's some, what she's showing, like this illness or whatever happened with her, like she knew that was how she was going to leave. Okay. Okay, so message from Kim, she went on a walkabout and we didn't find her. Pearl, can you tell me more about that? She says, yes, that has to do with the illness. She's saying that there was some like she's showing this energetic indicator, like in Kim's energy, it was like something kind of clicked, and that meant to Pearl that she had done the work, that Pearl was ready to move on, that Kim had learned the things that they had come to work on together, and do you want to say more about that, Pearl? Kim's saying that makes sense to her. Pearl is saying she feels very like proud of you, Kim. It's almost like sort of a proud mother kind of energy. She's showing all these flowers blossoming in your energy, Kim, and is saying like, I really helped you grow and develop this. I really see like pink flowers. Again, there's something very feminine about what she was bringing into your life. Yeah, I feel her heart really swell, like this proud mother. Like, I really did what I came to do, and you were really open to learning the lessons that I brought around queendom and divine feminine and this and standing up and getting what you want. And yeah, thank you, Miss Pearl. Let's see. So Kim would like to know, would you ever come back to her as a companion again? I hear maybe right away. Can you expand on that, Pearl? I get this sense of like being in a whirlwind or in some kind of a vortex or tornado kind of thing. She's showing There's a lot of changes happening in her energy right now. This sense of, Pearl, that feels really kind of discombobulating to me. Is there another way you could show that to me? So I see all these little sparks of light in her energy, and I'm seeing her more as like a spirit or just kind of this light and energy around her rather than her being in this physical body. And she's showing like her timeline, this longer trajectory. There's like this bigger goal or something that she is moving towards that she's not sure how she's going to get there yet. She is indicating like if there's a way for her to work with Kim again in a way that fits in with her mission, like she's showing this bigger kind of goal that she's working towards where yeah, this seems pretty long term out where she's like, I need to learn about this and I need to learn about this and I need to learn about this. She's not naming the specific things that she's learning, but showing how there really is this divine plan above about how people work with animals, and it has to be a really good match is what Pearl is saying. And she's not 100% sure if what Kim will need in the future will actually line up with what she's doing, but she's open to the possibility. All right, cool. Let's see, just scrolling back up to these questions. Miss Pearl, so Kim's curious about what other incarnations you've had since you guys have been together. I see fish. I see one that she's like, yeah, it's been like a shorter cycle of incarnation. She's been coming in as animals that don't necessarily live as long. Yeah, I see a goldfish like in a house, and then I see a more wild fish that probably lives in a lake or something like that. What is it about fish? She's saying it's more about death. Can you tell me more about that? She's like, I needed to be reminded of how quickly things can turn over. She says sometimes being a wild fish is just kind of a rest between more difficult incarnations. Huh. She says, yeah, there's just not a lot to think about when you're a wild fish. You know, you swim, you lay some eggs, you have some babies. It's a really simple life. Like I didn't have any mission, if you will, like with a specific human. She says sometimes it is easier to come in as a wild animal and to quote unquote take a break from helping the humans. That's interesting. I've never heard that before, Pearl. Well, you haven't talked to enough animals yet, then, she says. Thank you for your humor, Pearl. What else do you want to tell us about those incarnations? So it'd be what, about 8 years since the last time you were with Kim? Was it just those 2 lives? I'm seeing, yes, like they were pretty short. Gosh, I don't even know how long goldfish live, but she's just like showing a small amount of time. They were, yeah. So are you reincarnated right now, or are you in the spirit world or something? She says, I'm getting ready to come down again. She really wants to come back as a salmon this time. Like a bigger kind of fish is what she's pointing at. She's showing the other fish that she, you know, goldfish are really small, but the other wild fish that she was, you know, not too big. She thinks it's really interesting to come back as an animal that like a previous incarnation of her would have eaten. Like she thinks that's kind of humorous and good for our learning experience is what she's saying. Is like we become very attached to our physical bodies or our personalities in this life. And she's showing there's a lot of movies and stuff that show, you know, when we go to the afterlife, like you keep your personality is what she's showing. And she's like, it's so not like that. You become more stripped down, and that eternal part of you that really always shines, and you can always put a different cloak over that and go down into an incarnation in a different cloak or a different garment or personality sleeve. Yeah. Predator prey makes sense to me is what Kim's saying. Yeah. So Ms. Pearl, I think that's all the questions that Kim put in, right? Kim, if you have more, feel free to type them in. Pearl, is there anything else you want to share with us? I know, like, we started this video series because of the coronavirus. Is there any wisdom you might want to share with us about that? Okay, I feel a swirl of things kind of coming in. It's interesting, sometimes Pearl, it feels like it's more like she throws the whole thought form at me and it starts to unpack multiple things at the same time. So Pearl, let's try that again. Let's see. Well, yeah, what she's showing me is like a heartbeat monitor. Badoop, badoop. She says it's just like that. It's kind of like a little blip along the way. And she's pointing back towards other viruses, like, you know, the plague and Spanish flu, and, you know, like humankind recovered from that. Like Pearl is just not concerned at all about the coronavirus, really. She says it's kind of interesting to watch from her positioning. Yeah, it kind of gives her the perspective of humans as ants, is what she's saying. Like, oh, they're all scurrying to try to do their thing. Okay, we do have one more question here coming up. Yeah, I guess Pearl's not concerned at all about the coronavirus. She's also not incarnated right now, so that's understandable. So Pearl, Kim wants to know, is there anything else you want to share with her or us, and if you still work with her now? Pearl's saying, I certainly can work with you if you want to. I'm available to do that, but you have to ask her. Like, you have to contact her or tune in and like, hey, Miss Pearl, do you have wisdom for me? Or, hey, Miss Pearl, would you work with me? Could you help me with this? She's saying she could work with you. She really hasn't been, because it is something for her that she wants the invitation or the ask in order to do it. Kim, is there anything you want her to work with you on? Maybe around her mom and partnership, she's saying, Pearl? Well, I can handle that. I see her like with a captain's hat on and like, yes, sir, we can do that. Um, mission accepted kind of thing. Pearl, how can Kim, so is it really just about her contacting you or like connecting in? She's saying, one thing she's saying, Kim, is that with your background in shamanism, that you can kind of use your tool bag, how you maybe do journeys, and that to connect in with Miss Pearl, like invite her on your journey and ask for her help and her wisdom. Does that make sense? Yeah, she's Pearl saying it's actually it's simpler than perhaps you think it is. And it really is just more about the invitation. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Miss Pearl. All right, Kim's saying she's got it. Cool, thanks. All right, Miss Pearl, is there anything else you want to share with us before we close the space today? Thank you for inviting me. She's actually quite excited that Kim thought of her to submit to talk, and she says, I feel a little brighter from having shared my wisdom. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Pearl. Okay. Well, again, I'm so happy to do these sessions. I'm sometimes just blown away by what the animals share with us. And I'm planning to continue to do these sessions through the end of April at least while we're on lockdown here in the US, or I'm in Colorado. So if these sessions interest you, if you're interested to have your animal share his or her wisdom with the world, it could be a domestic animal, it could be some wild animals that are hanging out around your house. Just send me a message, including a picture, and name and age if they're domestic animal, and we'll see if we can't get your animals into the queue here before the end of April. All right, again, thanks for joining us, and until next time, take care and be well.